I've come to know that naming is spiritual technology. It's the technology that allows you to call invisible forces to account. It's what lets you turn confusion into clarity, chaos into order, and silence into truth. And it's especially resonant for me right now because I have been doing a lot of naming. Naming the subtle, naming the sacred, naming the dysfunction that was never supposed to be spoken aloud. And I'm watching the magic of that technology unfold in real time. I've always been a natural disruptor of bullshit. And as a kid, I asked a lot of tough questions. Ones that I could feel energetically I wasn't supposed to ask, but I asked them anyway. I remember the first real pattern disruption I ever sparked. I was about 9 years old, and I grew up in a Christian household where I was taught that God is omniscient, all-knowing, all-powerful, and that every detail of a person's life is planned by God. Okay, cool. But then I was also taught that people who commit suicide go to hell, that they burn forever for taking their own lives. And even at 9, I was like, wait, so God plans a life of pain for someone, then punishes them for trying to escape it? That don't sound like love to me. And I voiced that question out loud. So the response I got was a familiar mashup of the Lord works in mysterious ways, or that's why God gave us free will. But even as a kid, that just didn't add up for me. How can you have free will in a system run by a jealous, controlling God who punishes your pain and plans it? And that moment stuck with me forever. And years later, I wound up finding the real power in it. I had named the contradiction. I had named the chaos. I now had the language to hold the belief system accountable, and that was liberating. That's what naming does. Naming is how we break silence. It's how we dissolve dysfunction. Naming is how we put shape around things that feel like shadows, hard to grasp. Think about a toddler. If you've ever seen a toddler in frustration, they're inconsolable because they want something that they don't have the words for yet. That's the same energy that so many adults carry, living in frustration, pain, or confusion that they can't or are not allowed to name because we were taught to be quiet. We were taught not to speak. We were taught that naming a thing makes us rebellious or difficult or disloyal. But the truth is, dysfunction thrives in silence, and silence prevails when we lack the words. So let this be your permission. Name what you see. Name what hurts. Name what feels off. Name what no one else is brave enough to name. Because the moment you name it, you shift your relationship to it. You go from being bound by it to standing beside it. And that's the first move in reclaiming your power. So let that land. That's the frequency. Stay in the loop.